Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, a device that will cook for you, a video game goes live and interactive, and find out how to get your Freq Reflex on. So sit back and relax. It's time to KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for another episode of the KickCast, the podcast where we go out and find your cool crowdfunding projects and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I am one half of the show, Ktdata, and joining me is a man who is brave and ventured out and used a sewing machine, which I'm like, dude, that is pretty badass. The one and only Drew Tyler.
So I've been signing your whole intro. You missed it. It was awesome. I made up every time. I did. I pulled out my sewing machine and screwed up royally. I was trying to make a shirt, and I figured I'd do like the burlap sack style, where I just cut out a shirt shape, and I'd do it on two pieces of fabric and stitch the edges together, and boom, pop the doll inside. No,
didn't work.
It was way too small the first time, and then kind of too small the second time, even though I like 100%ed it. And so I ended up slicing the front of the shirt and making it a jacket, so at least the arms could get in. Dude, it was I don't know what I was thinking. My mom is a seamstress. Like, she's amazing, and I thought, I've watched her enough times. Sewing is not that way.
I have to say, I was impressed when I saw you. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, he's got a sewing machine.
Brave. He's brave.
Yeah, I learned I had follies in my ways. That was not a wise choice. I made it through, but I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know. There's a market for doll clothes, and I didn't know about that because, well, only child. And I collected action figures and stuff that blows up.
There is. They have these American Girl dolls that the dolls themselves like $50-$60 or maybe hundreds, and then the clothes, like, you could buy a shirt for your American Girl doll, and it will cost you more than a shirt that you would buy like at a mall shop. Like, the shirt that's this big for a doll costs like 3 times as much.
It's like Build-A-Bear on crack.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And they have like different dolls with different names, and they all have the little outfits. And we walked into the store in the mall. That was an accident. Like, everywhere they went, they're like, my girl needs reading glasses. And they're set up in a display just like you see at the end of like Walgreens or something. I was like, no, your girl doesn't need $10 reading glasses. I will make them out of cardboard. You're right. It's a racket.
I mean, I was surprised because I saw that replaced the old Hot Topic location that I would go to. My Funkos is now an American Girl store. All right, Drew. Now that Skype has decided to have its weekly tantrum, and we've discovered your escapades in the world of seamstress
thing.
I don't even know the word. English is hard.
I blew it.
On there. Let's go into some news before we go into our projects. So something has blown up recently in the social media worlds in the past couple of days about a game called Ant Simulator. So did you ever play SimAnt back in the day?
I never played SimAnt, no.
So the idea is you're pretty much a ant, and it's simulating the life of an ant on there. So this game
like
was
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style. Like, you get to run around the backyard.
Yeah, you like you tiny. The grass is like ginormous and like fills the screens and stuff. So what happened was this was actually made as one of those like 48-hour games at the I forgot it's the Ludum Dare kind of competition that you hear about. So they made it, and then it had a lot of interest in 2013 or 2014. On there, so they decided to make a company, the creator, with 2 of his friends that he's been friends for about 11 years now. And what they did was they didn't necessarily so this is where I think people get confused. They did not crowdfund the game per se. They set it for pre-orders, and it was actually released as a Steam demo.
Okay.
On there, but what they did crowdfund was they raised $5,000 to create a video tutorial series called the Ultimate Game Dev Tutorials, and it shows you and it kind of documented their process in making this game. Like, it shows you how to use Audacity, GIMP, Unity 3D, and some kind of AI system that I'm not familiar with because I don't program on there. So he was making, and during the process he was actually making this Ant Simulator game. So what happened was, in the past couple days, he released a video on the YouTube channel saying that he has quit the company and Ant Simulator has been canceled because he was the only programmer on there, because his co-founders had spent most of the money on booze and even strippers.
Oh.
On there,
So
and
he like is that called a whistleblower? I guess. I mean, he's kind of part of the team, but
yeah,
he's
on there, and he was like, I need to distance myself from these guys because it's not working
not ethical,
well.
not a good
Yeah.
idea, right?
On there, so the program now it's going to be canceled, and he's actually has to legally delete all the videos on his YouTube channel that he made during the Kickstarter, because it belongs to the company that they put together called ET Ski LLC on there. And he put a video on there, and it's the thing is he put down, it's not a problem of being out of money. He said they secretly spent the overwhelming majority of both our Kickstarter money and the Ant Simulator investment money on liquor and even strippers. So not only he got one of his friends actually invested some money for them to make this game on there, and they actually sold a couple pre-orders, as I remember. He said there was like 7 people who did that on there, and he said that he's kind of hurt because his friends, these are friends, they wrote the contract, the LLC contract, as he read through it, that they were actually listed as contractors, so they weren't even legally responsible to do any work, but they had access to all the money on there. So so that's kind of stories, and they actually had an update to it that the other 2 guys said, which sounds fishy to me. Their sayings were exactly that the claims are false.
We did not.
And
we do not like strippers and booze.
But they wrote like this: I don't know why he's painting that picture, but the reality is that anything that was spent in a bar or restaurant was very reasonable in nature when you look at any business, including video game companies. It was part of our operating budget. It's not anything that was excessive. It was all reported to the IRS. The picture he's painting, that's about 100% BS.
How interesting.
But doesn't that even sound sketchy when he says that anything that was spent in a bar or a restaurant was very reasonable?
Right.
Like, that's not how you
That's
write
not
things
business
off.
depth. Yeah,
unless you were traveling, that kind of counts. And then if you're trying to entertain, like
entertaining clients and
clients, yeah,
or publishers, or Wow.
So yeah,
sounds like almost like high school drama playing out.
Yeah. And like Ant Simulator had some hype to it too, because people were kind of excited to play this game since there hasn't kind of been a game like this for a while. But unfortunately, it's probably never going to be seeing the light of day. And he also claimed that they threatened him if he released Ant Simulator outside of the company, they would sue him. So we're never going to see this game now.
We'll never get it.
So the truth. So what this comes down to, and forewarning to many project creators and stuff, is to, if you're going to do this with a team, and you should run a crowdfunding project with a team, is
you need help.
You trust your founders, read all your legal documents. is one of those things, and just don't be a dick.
I think that's it. Don't be creepy and don't be a dicky. That's so true.
Yeah,
but you gotta imagine working with people is tough. That's why in college I make people work in groups, because eventually they're gonna get screwed in the real world with no repercussions. At least I give them a chance to like screw their grade over for their friends. So this is real life stuff. I cannot believe these people.
Yeah, and so trust the people you work with, and and hopefully Drew will never find out that autograph I had him give me when we started this really gave me power of attorney over him.
That you have like full, like, should I ever pass away, KT will just pop in and be like, hey, I got this. When did you become the
when he started on the KickCast, I had him I had him autograph this Beta Loft sign, and there just happened to be a power of attorney bill right under it.
Brilliant.
On there. So I mean I think all of us have had experiences like that, and if you haven't, just be a little wary.
Okay, it'll happen.
All right, so on to our other piece of news. This is a little more Kickstarter centric, but one of the big things on Kickstarter is people always want to get featured in the projects. Or what did they call
Chosen,
it? Projects we love, or the staff picks.
Staff picks is what they used to be, right?
And then what would happen is if you picked in a staff pick, sure, they get featured in an email, and that was it. There was no badge or anything, and people would actually make custom badges to put on the
their own
splash
badge.
screens.
Yes, that's what I remember.
Yeah. So what Kickstarter now has done is actually made their own badge that shows up on top as you're browsing through the projects. So you don't have to go change your title page or anything. It automatically does it. And when you highlight it, you'll see this little blue heart or this little circle with a white heart in it. Well, yep. And then if you hover over it, it says projects we love. So those are the ones that Kickstarter staff have selected and are, their favorite picks on there. And there's actually even a section that you can click and it will filter it out by projects you love, and just all of them right there. I mean,
which probably means you won't be finding any of our sacks of the week in the projects we love because they were probably somewhat vetted.
Yeah,
good pieces.
Ooh, I'm like looking, I'm like, ooh, air bonsai.
I saw that one. It's a fantastic idea. Is that the floating plant?
Yeah,
yeah.
I like floating things. I mean, did you see our interview with the guy who did the Mars by Crazy Baby? It's a floating speaker.
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's a speaker, but it floats. So when you turn it on, it spins up and it just floats, and you can actually put your hand through it and just. Ooh. It's pretty cool.
See, I'm all about floating stuff. I could totally. I'm down.
Yep. So that's another way. And if you look back into our previous episodes, we've had tips on how to get staff picks, and it could be as simple as asking. On there. And then another side note is Kickstarter now has an Android app. Thank God.
It's been a long time. Wow.
Yeah, because iOS has had one for quite some time.
Yes.
On there. And as an equal opportunity podcast, Drew uses iOS stuff.
I do.
And I use Android stuff, so we keep it balanced.
Yes.
On there.
Two sides of one coin, my friends.
Actually, in this world, it doesn't really matter. They're in parity.
Sorry.
But sure, whatever. Now you can actually natively go through and kind of see stuff, which is always pretty good on there. So check it out. It's free. Okay, so before we go into our main projects, we introduced a new section called, I just named it Kick Shouts, which are just
Kick Shouts,
Twitter length shout outs to projects on there.
I can get behind Kick Shouts. I will second the name of that. Kick Shouts.
So if you ever want a project for us to mention, it might not be a featured project, but we might give it a kick shout. Just send us a description of the project in 120 characters or less, and we'll read it in this section.
Like this.
Yeah.
Check out the Blew It. It's because men need pleasure and performance. Was that short enough?
Yeah, I think that fits in a tweet, right?
That was just tweetable. The Blew It. If you don't know what it is, it's okay because Drew didn't know either.
Yeah. If you guys weren't here for the pre-show, you
hashtag innocent man. No idea.
And another one I wanted to mention, it's probably a little longer than a tweet. This is actually not an active project, but you can get it. It is called The Contender. It's kind of like Cards Against Humanity, except it's all politically based and not that dirty, so Drew can actually play without
I can play Contender, yes.
on there. So they actually sent this to me, and I was gonna open it up on air. So
on the show.
This is like a combination of a kick shout and a KickCast rewind.
Yeah, because I remember we talked about the Contender.
We interviewed one of the guys, Justin, from their tag.
Snow Stumps. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So this is actually the print that I got for backing their uber high end edition right here, and it is drawn by local Utah artist Scott Johnson. Cool. There. So it says The Contender. If not then, if not him, then who? If not now, then when? And it's a little political campaign. So
that's wall-worthy.
Yeah. If any of you guys are in the States, we just barely had a caucus in Iowa, and
we did, and I'm not even sure how it ended other than somebody won, somebody lost, and the person that won will probably not go on to win anymore. I mean, this is the way caucuses work.
So this is The Contender. Maybe I should bring this up and we should play this.
Oh, see, political games. I know card games. Fantastic.
That is The Contender, and now let's go into our actual projects of the night. So Drew, you probably don't have this problem. You cook, and you have an amazing best friend who is like a chef extraordinaire.
Yes, I am surrounded by good cooks.
But in my world, the world of bachelor-ness, me in the kitchen is dangerous, says the guy who has a food podcast.
It's kind of like a snack podcast.
Yeah. Having me cook is probably not the greatest idea. So our first project tonight is called The One Cook. and it is actually a they call it a robotic private chef to free your cooking time. And so what it is a little table or desktop system that you can leave on your counter. It's not tiny, but it's, you know, not ginormous at the same time. But you load the ingredients up.
Twice the size of like a rice cooker or something.
Like 2 rice cookers put together on there. So you put the ingredients in, and then it takes care of the rest. There's a phone app that you put in the recipe that you want, and this thing will do everything that you do when you cook. It steams, it boils, it braises, it fries, it stir fries, and it does even more than that. It even has an area, if you're using meats, that's a refrigerator area, so it keeps your meats nice and cold, and so you don't get E. coli poisoning when you run this.
Right, wow.
And then on top of that, if you know that, you know, cooking is one thing, buying things at the store, like you tell me how to pick to get you a good orange, I have no idea how to pick a good orange. They have a subscription service that they'll mail you the ingredients that you can just load right into the one cook,
prepackaged and ready to go.
Yeah, they designed it with their pre-built recipes, but you can put in your own recipes, and you can also use your own ingredients on top of that. You just have to do the chopping, the mincing, the dicing, the slicing kind of things on there. But I love this idea just because it has like multiple levels. It stirs, it heats, it just adds the ingredients in at the right time on there. You just hook it up to your Wi-Fi, and then everything else is done in the phone. On there, I just think it's great. And here's pictures of stuff. I don't know if it's stuff that it really makes, but I don't know. Probably is. And the food packages are kind of like little square things, almost like Keurig cups that you can put in. It just dispenses the right amount of stuff on there. And it has an AI system too. So if you put in a new recipe, it will save it, and if you want to use it later, you can just kind of click on it, and it will do all the cooking and stuff on there. I don't know. What do you think about this, Drew?
I'm still trying to take it all in. I'm trying to. Okay, 3 to 4, like they had, like you said, there's a meal plan on top of this. Yeah. This is hard. Do you know why? Because I want to love it. I want to love the geekery of it. I want to love this idea that I could just throw things in and it does it all for me. But at the same time, having done quite a bit of cooking and been around people that do a lot of cooking, there's a joy, I think, in cooking that you wouldn't get. Like, this is set it, forget it. And I feel like I would really miss out on like the active part of the cooking. And I think that when you cook some things, you want to be able to see, like, it's not so scientific that you can base everything off of numbers and
what?
So I think you have to be able to see things and look at it and go, hey, my onions are ready. They're translucent enough that I can add in the next couple of ingredients. I don't know. There's something about this that feels like it would take the pleasure away. But I love the idea, and I think it's really kind of like next world robotic. Like, I could see you totally, like, from afar being like, yeah, I want to eat tonight at 5:30. Put it in your phone, and then when you walk in the door, it's all done. Pull it out. Boop. So I think I'm eager. I really like the idea. There's one thing that really got me on this. I don't know if you noticed this or not. Maybe you did. It's hard to miss. They had a very American guy reading, doing the narration for the one cook for the video, but the English, the translation or whatever was not very like English.
Bunch of Asian dudes, man.
Right? So the subtitles. This is the first one. Life is not easy. We have a lot of handle things. Cooking could be one of the challenges. Everyone wants to eat delicious, healthy, and cheap. Like, this is good. And then there was one.
This is their team.
Because of much oil fume, complex cooking skills. Like, because of much oil fume.
English. These are the team. They're all Asian, man.
But the guy that's reading it is so American that he should have been like, much oil fume. Guys, much oil fume isn't really the way that we should say that.
He's probably like, you're paying me to do this? I'll read whatever. I will say whatever you want.
You've written here. And there's a couple of those places where I was just like, why? Listen, buddy, you could have tweaked this just a little bit. But no, I love the idea. And if you look down towards the bottom of the project, you should go look. He has a prototype that he actually is in his hotel room at CES.
Which kills me that I didn't see him at CES. That would have been so cool.
He has this prototype that he's building and putting together. It just looks so cool to see him like putting things in. They got near field communicators on him, and
it has like sensors and stuff into it. It's so cool.
I did love that. I did love that.
The geek in me loves this on there, and like you can see, like this prototype's a little bit bigger.
But it's there. Like he's got it figured out, and you know, some of it's taped together. It's functional.
I
love that. I do love that.
I mean, you can order it straight from. The only drawback right now, though, is I read through their FAQ. They have mostly Eastern U.S. distributors, so out here in the West, we get nothing right now.
Oh dear. I was also trying to figure out because they're obviously selling the product, the One Cook device, and like you mentioned, the meal plan. But it was weird. Like you can get the device for $99 if you sign up for like I guess it's subsidized. Like you buy it,
you subsidize it,
and you can get the device for $99. But then you're committed to, and it's only like $99 worth of.
The meal plan's $99, which is like
for a year, right?
I spend that like in 2 months on groceries.
Kid, that's like a half a week for me.
Well, you got a full family. I mean, anyway. I could spend that much if I went to Costco and went crazy.
That's what I did. I think it's a fantastic idea. I definitely will track this and follow it. I like to cook too much to let somebody take over for me.
Yeah, I like the back because I like their idea where you can just set it and then you go hang out with your friends. We could play the contender while your food is cooking.
While your food is cooking and stirring, you don't have to watch anything.
Yeah, because like I said,
The Bachelor's.
When I am in the kitchen, things happen that I don't think are supposed to happen. So yeah, I'm not me cooking unsupervised is probably not the greatest idea on there. All right, so for our next project, we're crossing the podcast streams.
We are.
We were taking Kickstarter, which is something you're passionate about, and we're taking video games, which is another thing you're passionate about, and smashing it together for this next project.
So those of you that know all that I do, I love video games. I host a little big cast every week. I love Kickstarter and the crowdfunding, and so when I found this project, I just had to put it in here. There is a project that has 15 days left on it currently that is called Journey Live. So it's the game Journey, which is a PS PlayStation game where you basically get to go on a journey. I don't know how else to explain it. You are this non-gender specific guy with a girl thing with a cape that you can fly. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like as an experience, it's very much an experience. You enjoy the journey more so than getting anywhere, like most games. Like it's not a destination based thing. It's an exploration. And the key thing about this game is that you are usually joined by other travelers at the same time that you are in the game, and they're just anonymous other players. So it's kind of like they pick two people and put them together, and you can talk to each other with only like ping, like only like little chirps.
If you ever want to see one of the greatest reactions, and I think you put it in your year-end episode.
It is in our 80th. Yep.
Yeah, go check out Little Big Cast's year-end review one, and you can hear Drew's reaction when he found out that's another person and not just AI.
Because I've been playing it for a week or two, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, that's another like actual human. That's not an AI." And I was like, "What?" Anyway, yeah, that blew me away. So here's back to the Kickstarter part. Journey Live, they have got together a crew, the Fifth House Ensemble, to play the soundtrack to the game while people play it. So it's like an orchestra, a symphony. It's you will be able to sit in the audience and listen to them recreate the game music while somebody on stage is playing the game.
I just realized something. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I think that this will be a very exciting way to experience the game, because something beautiful about Journey is that it's just beautiful. It's just really calming and excellent, and you don't really need to play it to enjoy it. And so to have an audience full of people who can sit back and listen to a live soundtrack being played to whatever that character is doing, wherever he's going, the music changes based on the game, but it's happening live. That to me, I'm excited to see that happen, and I wish it would happen nearer to me. But this project is basically raising funds to make this almost like a performance piece, travel to a couple of different places. Currently, it's set up to play in Maryland, Chicago, Illinois, Boca Raton, and Springfield, Illinois. Excuse me. And that's going to happen between February and April. They hit their goal already. In fact, I believe they've done well over the goal. Does it show me percentage somewhere? They wanted $5,000 just to take this out on the road and make it happen once, and they've raised $33,000, and so they're going to be able to do this at multiple places. So the I don't know how to say it any more than that. It's so exciting that they're getting this ensemble together to play live during gameplay. And as of course with the tiers, the choices that you have for tiers is you can actually back the at $250 and be the person that plays the game while they are on stage. So you get to be on stage playing the game, and that's only like $250 to play the game in front of everybody and have an entire ensemble playing music for you while you are playing the character.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Isn't that amazing? They got Sony to do a version of the game that has no sound whatsoever, just sound effects. So you'll still hear the sound effects, the wind and the creaking metals, but you don't have to. They're gonna play all the music, and then this to me is astounding as well. The ensemble is going to be following along with their own screens, and they're going to stay together using a queue function in the music thanks to iPad and an app called Fourscore.
Oh yeah, Fourscore it is a pretty cool, neat thing on there. Like,
it can change in real time. Is that kind of
you can change in real time, and it's also if you're on the same Wi-Fi network as I believe that everybody else is on the same page too. So like. In normal music, you just have a sheet of paper, right? Like,
right. Sure,
this will automatically kind of switch and change for you, and it is actually some pretty cool technology going on there. So
that's what they're using for this, and I would love to just see that happen. So I'm stoked on this.
The reason why I disappeared, because one thing about Journey is the soundtrack. It actually got Grammy nominated on there.
Right, it's very good soundtrack.
And then I actually own the soundtrack on vinyl.
It's beautiful. The vinyl itself is really pretty too.
Oh yeah, and like you see the art and everything in here. It is great on there. And let me pull out the actual vinyls too. These things are beautiful right here.
I used to call them records when I was a kid.
Yeah, that makes you sound old though.
Records. Put a little P. Look at that. Oh my god.
So you have your little character guy, Dealy dude. Right here.
And that's his cape I was talking about. That's
circles around on the other side. This is a hint. If you collect all the things in the game, you get the white cape. And he has a white cape on this side.
So cool.
So yeah, this is like one of the. I mean, I'm. Everybody probably knows that music plays a huge part in my life. So I love music on there. But Journey's soundtrack is one of those great ones that you just can't go wrong with on there. And I forgot what's on this other one. This one has the. Kind of more of the desert scene on there, and the green lush world on there too, on there. But yeah, I mean, I wish they would come to Salt Lake because
I know
I think both you and I would probably be there.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that now that they're in stretch goal zone, they were looking at where backers live, and the places that have the most backers will be the top of the list to be the next cities for this tour of games. But it's just really, really cool. They're giving away a lot of cool opportunities to hang out with the Austin Wintory, the guy that wrote a lot of that, wrote it all. And then one of the tiers, I believe, you actually get to go hang out with him for the next game that he is scoring. Abzu, I believe is what that ABZU. Is that right? Abzu. Yeah,
that would be so cool.
Anyway, that's my project that I was geeking out on. So I did just cross the streams, but that's a total back for me, being able to hear Journey live, not Journey like the streetlights, but Journey the game played live soundtrack while the game's being played.
Ooh, and oh man, I kind of want to do this.
I know, right?
I want to back this, and I forgot you get his full discography, which is great.
Yeah, those are the levels, so you
on there, and
download.
You can get signed sheet music. That's kind of cool. Music nerds would sign sheet music like one of those ultimate things.
And I would fly to Boca Raton just to go watch the show.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe we should make it happen. Road trip.
Anyway, this is awesome. I love this project. I love to see this kind of interaction.
All right, so our last project of the night's kind of, I guess it rounds out everything. So we've had our nutritional element. Yes. We've had our
video games, gamers,
video games,
and music
spiritual, emotional
Yes.
release or fulfillment on there. So now we will go into the physical realm on there. So Drew, I know you're training for a full marathon now.
Half. Whoa, settle down.
Half.
I'm not training yet, but I should be.
Okay, so, and one of the things with running is, getting your right cadence, actually stepping properly, correct?
Yes. In fact, I've learned a lot about how to put your feet down and which to hit first. Heel strike versus toe. Yeah, I've learned a lot.
And have you heard the word dorsiflex before?
I don't know that I have. I'm not
okay.
that.
So this is taking me back into my college days, into kind of more kinesiology. So the science of the body's movements and stuff. So a dorsiflex is essentially the motion that you use when you are moving your toes towards your ankle. So it's kind of your heel step, right? You want to go heel to toe when you're running on there. So the problem is that when you kind of jump and run stuff, you tend not to do that. And the reason why you want to do heel to toe is that way your center of mass is aligned with your feet on there. So what our last project is, it's called the Freq Reflex, and it actually helps you get into that dorsiflex motion because it's kind of hard to train yourself without a little bit of aid on there. And what it is there's a resistance band that you hook to the shoe, and then the rest hooks to your calf on there. So when you're actually walking or running, it kind of forces the front of your foot to kind of flex back, and
it pulls it back up.
Yeah, and that's kind of the motion you want to get, right? And these resistant bands, they come with different resistances on there, so you can actually put a stronger resistance or a lower resistance and kind of train yourself up to there, and it allows you kind of get that motion. They have a good example of this when you jump. So when you're running right here, what happens is usually people kind of do your toe first instead of your heel first when you're running, and that first slows you down because it's almost like all your force is going towards the front of your foot and your center of mass is off. And when you do the dorsiflex on there, and it also causes strains on your shins and hamstrings. If any of my PT friends hear this and say you're entirely wrong, KT, let me know, because it's been a long time.
Hey, I'm following you, man. It sounds right to me.
Since I've learned this. But with the dorsiflex, if you're landing like that, you're landing on your center of motion, so your mass is kind of more distributed, and it's less strain on your muscles too on there. So you have different resistance bands that you can clip on and kind of train yourself. Because what happens is that even for the kind of the rest of the day, if you've trained yourself well, you can take it off and your foot will still do it, but it's not a permanent thing. So you kind of have to retrain yourself to do this. And what happens is once you get the motion correctly, you're actually running a little bit faster too, because you don't have that little bit of intermediate stop. If you do it toe first, this one you kind of keep going and your cadence is still going on there. So does this sound like something you would want to try, Drew, to kind of help?
I would try this for sure, just to see if I could maybe improve my posture or my running style. Like I'm not a speed guy. I'm just trying to survive, but this could help, right?
On there, yeah. And let's see. I'm trying to.
You're gonna see me. I'm gonna strap bungee cords to my calves and my tops of my shoes. Like I'll make my own. I'll be like, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I'll try to figure this out.
Yeah. So it's about $100, which to some people sounds like it's a lot. Keep in mind you're getting the shoes on the track shoes with them.
So wow, they're actually this is a
you get the shoe too. I actually thought it was like an attachment that you put onto your shoe, but no, you get the full shoe too. That's why it's a little bit more pricey, because I mean that's about the price of an athletic shoe.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, my running shoes cost me $80, and I was like, I've never spent that much money on a shoe. But they make a big difference.
Yeah.
So you get the bands and you get the shoes with this special built-in.
With the built-in clips on there. So because I mean, obviously you're putting strain on it. You don't want to just clip it to something and like you're running.
Yeah, right.
And the clip just flies off. On there, but yeah, I thought that was kind of a nice way to kind of help train your body, because I've seen other ways of people doing it, and it's kind of hard to get that flexing motion. I mean, if you're not in a car right now and you can actually try to like curl your toes and stuff into that motion, it's a little hard if you're not used to it.
Yeah, this is like pulling them up for you.
Yeah, on there, and it kind of trains. It's almost like how those people who have weights on their ankles and stuff. It's similar to that, where when you don't have the weights on, you're still kind of running in that motion because you expect it, but you don't have it. So I really like it. They're only looking for $2,000, which honestly I think is
really.
Yeah.
Did they launch just yesterday? Like they're
Yeah, they just barely launched
Huh.
on there, and they're in the UK. So
That's amazing. Like I think I have no problem getting there. I'm really astounded at the
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
It was like, what? You could do this?
Yeah, I love this idea. But me and outside really physical
You can love the
activity
idea from
really.
afar, right? Yeah. Cooking is hard, running is hard. I'm not sure what you're good for.
How am I surviving in this world, man?
I don't understand.
I just So I just looked at this. You can actually get it to clip to your favorite pairs of shoes now too, because they have the little clippy things on there, and most of the bundles actually.
Oh,
just
they
have
look
that.
like satchels or something. You
Yeah.
like, put your toes in the front end, strap it around the back of your heel, so it's still attached to
But
your.
you can also just get the shoes too on there if you want that. But if you have a favorite pair of running shoes, I mean,
That would make sense.
on there. So, but like I love this. This seems like a good idea. If I was still playing basketball, I'd be tempted to get a pair too, because I don't long distance run, but you run a lot in basketball. So,
Yes.
all right. So finally, it is to our sack of the week, and
I love this one.
And I'd have to say, Drew did far more research into the sack of the week than I did.
I delved.
It is called object.charliedesignerstudios.nyc. And
That's the name.
Yeah, that's the name, and that's pretty much all I know about it. What drew me to pick this as a sack of the week is the amazing video they put together. Which, for your audio videos, you're just gonna hear some music, and we'll describe it. So
yeah, I'll give you a walkthrough for sure.
They're in a car. He shot this portrait, by the way, which annoys me. And they're just driving through New York. Yeah, that's pretty much the video.
That's it. Eventually, he does show up at his office phone.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a 40-second video, and so he's walking down the hall now. There's some weird artifacting too that's on his phone, and he looks at the lamp, turns on the lamp, and that's the video.
It. He walks up and turns on the lamp, and it's like POV style too. It's like you see half a hand turn on the lamp, and it's like the end.
Yeah.
So funny.
I don't know what they do. Drew, in your extensive research,
here's what I've come up with. It's somewhere in here. They say that they've got Charlie. He's a designer and architect who lives and works in New York City, but he spent a lot of time in Paris. In fact, 7 years in Paris, he was a lecturer and a professor of a university. So he's legit, because I myself am a professor at a university, right? I mean, it's real. But here's what's happened with this project. There's lots of like little paragraphs of how great he is. He does this with his computational design and architecture and volumetric and surface-aic and parametric. And they're dropping all these big words, but yet nothing has really cohesively come together in this project. And my favorite part is that it has what we need and what you get section with 3 bullet points. And the first one says, this is where you find out what it's really about. We need $50,000 to buy our big rep 3D printer and a CNC machine to develop new 2016 collections. And then the third bullet point of that same set, acquire innovative and big 3D printers and CNC machine. Like, it's the exact same thing in 2 bullet points. Oh, man. They even left in the part of where it says, what are the risks and challenges? They left in the people value your transparency, be open and stand out. Like the stuff that Kickstarter puts in for you. So it took us a while to figure out what exactly that they were kickstarting here, or Indiegogoing. But I think we decided that they're trying to get a 3D printer for their make space. Does that sound about right?
Yep, that, and they're trying to build something that I think is for huffing drugs, but I could be wrong.
That's true, because they do talk about olfactive stuffs. The olfactive, and the first time I read that, I was like, "What? You mean like olfactory, like the stuff that you smell, like the fact smelling 3D printer smeller?" And sure enough, they say, "We've already a real design olfactive object tested and printed. We need to go to production that smells good." What if this is just like some horrible like SEO attempt. They're doing research and they're just trying to see what actually gets picked up by the random words that they've thrown in here that are extra.
I don't know. And they only have one perk.
Yeah, it's one perk. For $15, you can back their 3D printed. You'll get a olfactive key holder. So some sort of smelly key holder. I can't decide if they didn't think hard enough about it, or if whoever is putting this together thinks way too hard. Like there's way too much big word stuff in here. That's
I don't even get the tags. Object, furniture manufacturer, 3D printing, CNC. How do you CNC a couch?
I'm gonna make myself furniture by taking a 6-foot block of wood and just carving out the pieces I need. Yeah, this is hilarious. This is just a fun one to try and decipher. I almost feel like there's a mystery in here to figure out what it all has to do. There's a whole gallery of images that actually show.
I didn't even see this.
Well, did you see the gallery? Put that up. You can see that there is a key holder, but somewhere in there is olfactive.
Is it a candle holder?
I don't know. Maybe that's the key holder we're talking about.
Maybe this is a candle holder, and that's the olfactive. You put
a candle. Oh, that's it.
And they need a $50,000 CNC printer for this.
Yes. That's and that one is made by a really bad rep wrapper. This is not a good 3D print. I don't know. It's a good sack of the week, but I'm just wondering maybe there's a mystery in here somewhere. Somebody actually is trolling us because
would use this kind of doorknob. I just
so smart. That's art, dude. That's straight up art. He's a designer.
I'm not cultured enough to understand these things, I guess.
There's apparently he's done some stuff with Estee Lauder.
This looks like I could sketch this.
Is that a knife block or a factory building? It's a slice of cheese.
Cheese with
cheese with a knife sticking out of it. You guys, this is why the sack is because it's just so smart. I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
I hope they reach their goal.
Yeah, and this Empire State of Mind, is this the Alicia Keys song?
I guess so. They had to credit it somewhere.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, brother. Where did you find that?
It's in their video gallery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They just linked a song about New York.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure he has the rights to that song.
Just sharing it. Just want you guys to know that this is New York. Yeah. Anyway, we had a lot of sacks of the week, but that one took the cake because it was a very complex, but yet what the hell?
Yeah.
What was going on?
Yeah, and the other one, the guy, he's trying to reinvent Uber. I don't know why.
Yeah, I saw that one too. The guy, the name of it was "Order a Taxi Limo by an App in NYC." I was like, hold on, that's a great idea, but that happens already all the time.
Yep. So, and that sadly is the show. If you guys have any suggestions for projects or anything you want us to mention in the sack of the week, or in our regular projects, or for a shout out, let us know. Send us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net. or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/KickCast, or on tweeters @KickCast for the show, or @Night20 for Drew. Maybe you'll find out the secrets behind the name, username Night20.
No one knows. No one knows.
I actually know.
Two people know.
@KTData for myself on there. And of course, maybe one day I'll go back to Google Plus. We also love it when you guys watch live.
Yeah, shout out to some guy in D-Max Lasernorm. I'll hit the chats today.
Yep, and our next episode is going to be February 16th, 2015, right after Valentine's Day.
I should probably get something figured out for that.
Hey, there's a Marvel Universe live show going on in downtown. You should come.
That's
what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing on Valentine's Day.
That's not gonna work for me. I need something else
on there. And of course, if you missed any of these projects, you want to see them, just head on over to kickcast.net. It has our show notes and our old episodes, so if you want to do that. And we also encourage you to subscribe in whatever way you form. Is it if YouTube, podcatchers, iTunes, whatever. And if there's a way that you want to get the show that you can't get the show yet, let me know, and I will do my best to deliver that to you on there. Drew, you got anything else to plug before we go?
Don't blow this for us, Gene. No, I got nothing.
If you guys have suggestions for Valentine's Day activities or plans, At night 20.
Yeah, at night 20. I'd love to hear your ideas of how to do something in 2 weeks to impress my wife. Thanks.
On there. And she is one lucky lady.
She sure is.
All right, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll see you through in 2 weeks too.
Yeah, right. Good night, all.
Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, a device that will cook for you, a video game. I mean, no English.
Hey, you could write a video.
Oil go air, make bad. Come on, intro. Don't make me stick in a blow me.
Blew it. Blowed it.
Is now an American Girl store. And I'm like,
Who froze?
What in the world is that? Oh. Sad face. We lost Drew. Man down! Somebody call the Skype police! Help!